unity. Together we find unity.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. Right now, you just get to deal with me because we are doing a special coverage on the Artemis launch. I believe set for about another 45 minutes or so. From everything I've seen, all systems are go. The astronauts are in the capsule. Everything's getting ready to go, and we will cover that from top to bottom. We will have it. Up until then, I've got a few videos, a little bit of information, so just sit back and enjoy the ride, and we'll go through this launch together.
Ready for liftoff at the Kennedy Space Center.
Hey, let's go to the moon!
The Artemis 2 crew now in countdown mode.
We are ready. NASA is ready. This vehicle is definitely ready to go.
The original February launch delayed by a hydrogen leak and pressurization issue.
Take a look. You can see the Orion space capsule that will enter an orbit around the Earth, going around twice. And then it will head towards the moon, where then it will reach its furthest, or hopes to reach, the furthest the humans have ever traveled into space, 280,000 miles from Earth, something never before achieved. All of this will be accomplished in just 10 days, a mission that then paves the way for a future return to the lunar surface and maybe a permanent establishment of a human presence on our own natural satellite.
Stuff. So the first time since the Apollo mission going back to the moon. Where'd I go? Oh, there. So this one's actually going around the moon. They're not actually landing. Artemis, which they're talking in a few more years. That one will land on the moon. A lot of people are saying it's a space race. Yet again, this time not with Russia, but with China. This video is the path. So they've already brought the Artemis out to the launch pad and back again. This is it coming back after it failed the test launches they had before. Thing is massive. I've way back many years ago have been down there and seen that. Of course, back then it was the shuttle system, not like Columbia and Challenger and Discovery, the actual shuttles. And now they retired those some years back. But now it's retrofitted for this Artemis mission. And it's pretty neat. I'm going to pull up my other screen here.
Update here
with the launch abort system battery. They appear.
I have this update for you. They're saying it. I have it for you. Sorry.
Go.
Okay. I have an update to you about the battery thing. Update about the Faust Space Journal listed it. NASA said that engineers invaded a sensor on the launch abort system's attitude. Yes. Engineers investigated a sensor on the launch abort system's attitude control motor controller battery that showed a higher temperature than would be expected. It is believed to be an instrumentation issue and will not affect today's launch. So the launch is still a go.
To possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Looks like, according to the countdown, 18 minutes and 31 seconds until launch.
Happen. They are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And, as the crew likes to say, they want to be the shoulders that the next generation.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
Uh-oh.
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
018.
Hold on here.
All right, right at 18 minutes, we're going to take that out of there. I got a few more videos as far as information goes. Let's see here. This is some pretty
During
good
the propellant
launch
loading, the flight crew will wake up at about 9:45 tomorrow morning. They'll have breakfast and start working towards their preparations for launch day, and getting their suits on and doing all the other work that they have to get ready to head out to the pad. And then once we get to all stages replenish, which is a little after almost 1:15 in the afternoon tomorrow, we'll send a closeout crew to the pad. All stages replenish is when we're done tanking, essentially. We filled all the propellant onto the core stage and the upper stage ICPS. After that, we'll send a flight crew to the pad. They're going to head out a little before 2 o'clock. And to get into the spacecraft, as I mentioned, the closeout crew is going to go out before them, so they'll have been working that time to prepare the capsule for the flight crew arrival. And then the flight crew will get out there, and then I'll work in the insertion portion, in which we're going to strap the flight crew members into the seats of Orion. And after that, we'll do the final closeouts in the crew module. We'll close the hatches. There's some pressurization checks we do and some other things and at the end. And then we'll clear the white room. And then get ready to get into terminal count. Our closeout crew clears the white room at about 5:30 tomorrow night. It's almost an hour before launch. That's our plan time. After that point, we'll finish the rest of the work and configurations that we can do remotely. And then, excuse me, we'll proceed into the launch team poll. And then after that, the launch director will perform her management poll. And then we'll get into terminal count for the last 10 minutes of launch countdown.
And of course, the White House. Gotta love the White House and their phenomenal social media team. And this
Minions! Next, we are going to steal Buzz for him.
We've said it before, and we'll say it again. Whoever's in charge of the White House social media, man, Donald Trump give them a raise. That is some good stuff, man. They always come up with some pretty hilarious stuff. But we can go back for a second here to Steve Lookner and courtesy of Agenda Free TV. We're at 15 minutes and 13 seconds.
Cannot launch, and these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis 1 when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding.
Maybe they're hearing something.
And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel.
All right, we are 14 minutes away. Man, I've been looking forward to this. Bethy, if you're watching, I know you've been looking forward to this. This is something else. I got some more videos we can watch. This one covers the weather, as far as what they can and can't do as far as the weather goes and launch wise.
One lightning strike within 5 miles of Kennedy Space Center is all it takes to scrub the first manned launch to the moon in over a half a century. Storms can pop up quickly on a warm afternoon in Florida. That's why there's a team of spaceflight meteorologists closely monitoring any adverse conditions that could delay NASA's Artemis mission. Fortunately, weather conditions around Florida's Space Coast look promising for the first launch window on Wednesday evening, with an 80% chance of favorable weather according to NASA, noting cloud coverage and high wind potential as the primary weather concerns. Specific weather criteria must be met prior to liftoff, with strict parameters that include temperature, winds, cloud cover, lightning, and even solar flares. Lightning is particularly dangerous because it can ignite rocket fuel and fry sensitive onboard electronics. Even nearby thunderstorm clouds need to be considered because the rocket can trigger its own lightning strikes as it passes through them. It's a balancing act of observing ideal conditions both on the ground and along the flight path above. They don't call it rocket science for nothing. One lightning strike within 5 miles of Kennedy Space Center is all it takes to scrub the first.
I swear my computer is out to get me today. But that was some pretty cool information about the weather. Now, just to let everybody know, as we are 12 minutes away from launch, that we will be back tonight at 8:30 to cover President Donald Trump's speech about Iran. He's just doing a nationwide address, and I didn't know anything about it until this afternoon. But so we'll be back about 8:30. We'll have some information, and then we'll cover that speech as well. So you know, it's kind of funny. We go from a couple days, you know, with nothing to cover to a bunch all in one day. Let's see here. 11 minutes, 22 seconds out. We can keep watching videos.
I am at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where the agency is about to launch its first crewed mission to the moon in over 50 years since the Apollo program. 4 astronauts, 3 U.S. astronauts and 1 Canadian astronaut, are not going to land on the moon, but they're going to spend about 10 days on this winding journey, launching from Earth, around the moon, and back. And during that trip, they're going to reach the farthest depths in space than humans have ever gone to previously, roughly 252,000 miles away from Earth. And that's a few thousand miles longer than the Apollo 13 mission, which had previously set the record for the deepest human space flight. So just a few weeks ago, NASA's Space Launch System rocket was housed in this building and rolled all the way out to its pad about 3 miles away from where I'm standing right now, which is where it's going to lift off, hopefully on Wednesday. Now, there's a bunch of different reasons why NASA wants to go back to the moon. I spoke to the Artemis II crew at a press conference a few days ago, and NASA astronaut Christina Koch said she was most excited about the scientific potential for establishing a lunar presence.
The moon is a witness plate to our entire solar system's formation. It's a stepping stone to Mars, where we might have the most likelihood of finding evidence of past life, but it's also a Rosetta Stone for how other solar systems form. All of this starts to unlock when you go to the moon, and for me, that's one of the most important scientific reasons to go.
But another big driver for NASA's lunar return is geopolitics. China is also eyeing a 2030 moon landing with its first cruise on the lunar south.
That because something's going on. The countdown is on hold for some reason.
Is that below our persistence?
Stopped right at 10 minutes.
Stand by. Let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
They're talking about some issue or other.
Affected LCC, please. Yes, ma'am. That's going to be O-CT-004.
They're talking about something.
Thank you.
They are looking into. So this is a hold, and they're going to see if they can fix everything they need to and get to 0. That's what they said.
I wonder what it could be.
This is supposed, again, this is a hold.
Yeah, us
They
taking
have
a
more
look at
work
the
to
data
do.
right here. Looks like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir, I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds. Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now.
Doing a quick poll right now.
So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay. LP, you concur with that? Yes, sir. LP concurs go. And launch director.
Sounds like a go.
Yes, sir. Launch director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, launch director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for com config, or are you?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, is that the only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete. Copy.
Okay.
So it looks like something occurred. They killed the countdown, but I guess everything is still within mission parameters. So now they're just getting permission and everything to go back to the countdown right at 10 minutes too.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir. Okay, tracking the same here. And launch director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis 2 launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
GTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC. C's go. MCO.
CO is go.
Safety console.
The safety console is go.
LPE. LPE is go. RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Crew is go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And launch director, NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch. Verify no constraints and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis, MMT Chair.
MMT's go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
Good Airways, Charlie, PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2.
This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity.
All right, Charlie, your Artemis 2 crew is go for launch.
full send.
I
All
copy
right.
that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go.
All right. It's a go. I guess we're count's going back off of hold now.
And
That's
NTD
good.
Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Proceed with
Copy that.
countdown.
I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Get risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work.
SNA arm rotation enable.
Wow, that was actually kind of neat. That little speech the flight director gave. I always think stuff like this is cool because you can always look back and remember where you were when history was being made, and this right here is history being made. You know, I was actually thinking the other day about the launch, and I remember where I was when Challenger, or no, I'm sorry, Challenger. I was little, so I don't remember that, but Columbia. I remember when Columbia blew up. You know, I remember 9/11, Columbine. Of course, I was in high school for those. I remember exactly where I was when I found out Charlie Kirk was killed. Those are sad points in history. These are good points of history that you can remember. I remember where I was when Donald Trump was elected the second time. I was right here on Red, White, and True, and had been for hours. So I always like to tell my kids to stop and take a minute and really think about that. Think about, you know, what's going on, the history, the information that you're seeing, because future generations, they'll be able to see it in records, history books, stuff like that. But you were there; you get to watch it live. You know, the first landing of the man on the moon, the Apollo 11 mission. You know, that was, of course, that was before my time. But man, what a time to be alive to be able to watch that. You know, so yeah, just take a minute and appreciate that we're all here right now watching a good piece of history being written. Randy asked, where are you watching it? I'm on YouTube as well. This is Agenda Free TV on YouTube. Steve Lookner. I've got, don't remember who's on behind me, but the rest of my computers in the command center has got military trackers, because just in case, you never know. It's all over YouTube. Speaking of the military trackers, I do have flight tracker pulled up. I was wanting to see. Again, my computer is hating me today. I had to restart it a minute before I was supposed to go live. Not seeing anything fancy flight wise. Guessing that's Air Force One or two. Yeah, nothing fancy flight wise. The count is still on hold. I'm kind of hoping they kick that off of there. Until then, let's go back to some more information.
It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge and to be the leader amongst nations on our adventure into the great unknown. The human soul yearns for discovery. By unlocking the mysteries of the universe, we unlock truths within ourselves. We're a nation of pioneers, and the next great American frontier is space. And we never completed, but now we start again.
And here they are, NASA's Artemis II crew. Commander Reed Weissman, pilot Victor Glover, and mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen taking their first steps outside for their historic test flight. To a wonderful applause from the crowd. They're looking really excited.
Some
and
big
really
smiles.
Ready.
I love that.
A few words from Reed. Great day for us, the team, he said. Thumbs up, more thumbs up. Of course, a lot of pictures. We hear some camera shutter clicks back there.
We have people here from all over the world. Like, I have spoken to people from Argentina, Australia, Brazil, New York, California, you name it, they're probably here. And I want you to take a look at what we're seeing out here. Not only is it just packed, I mean, it's good luck finding a seat, but you have people that have been camping out here since early this morning. You have lawn chairs, coolers, kids that are missing school for this. They have their blankets. I mean, this is a whole ordeal, everybody coming together.
Cut that off real short. The clock has resumed. It's 7:41. They're moving the gates away.
Until this point, that was their way off the pad if they needed to evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to a launch abort system.
Hold on.
And they'll begin arming that shortly.
I have another typo. Another
Of course, the launch
typo.
abort system. Great shot there of the crew access arm retracting away. The launch abort system is the tower at the top, and that's what would pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety hardware that protects the lives of the astronauts.
This is the first
Starting
lunar-
at T-minus 6 minutes,
I don't want to talk
the
about
GLS will start bringing that and other high energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization.
the first crewed moon mission in over 50 years. They will not land on the moon. They're going to go around the moon, fly around the moon. But it's the first crewed mission in over
Whether it's
50
90%
years.
go, the
Crewed moon
range is
mission.
go, all systems are go.
GLS is go for core stage tank pressurization.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank. We'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count.
5 minutes.
Now the team is
31
waiting for
seconds.
verification that, if needed, the Artemis II crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
GLS verifies last capability available. And CDR, do you copy?
CDR copies, last available.
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety
go for
first.
LH2 high flow bleed check.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
I'm a bit nervous.
T-minus 4
I'm wishing
minutes.
them well. Let's hope all goes well.
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units, high-speed turbines, which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen. Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're listening for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of there.
GLS is go for purge sequence 4.
Moving through the milestones. All is looking good.
3 minutes.
Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines. There are the 4 RS-25s, 3 of them shuttle heritage, 1 of them built from shuttle parts. And there you see them moving. Now we're going to start moving the power from both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal, taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
GLS is go for upper stage
2 minutes.
power.
Our power is removed from the rocket's upper stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis 2 crew is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
One minute.
1 minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS go for ALS.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers.
I will switch
ready
it
to
over
ride the most
to
powerful
Steve, and I
rocket
will see you on the other side.
NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4.
Here it goes.
3,
Wow.
2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff.
Liftoff.
The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Wow. Wow.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the ultimate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston saying good performance on the main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Wow, look at that.
Mission
Great
elapsed
so
time,
far.
Passing 1 minute. Approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. One minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state, ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight. Integrity, 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour. Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
That's good.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tigris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan, we have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
This is set to be around a 10-day mission. They are going to be not landing on the moon, but flying around the moon.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes, 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Supposed to take about 4 days to get to the moon.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Thank you for joining us for today's live stream. This has been a presentation of Ed Boston Media,